One. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Penguin,
And my name is Sean.
and we are going to be jumping right into game two of this series between Aries, the platinum level Zerg, in the bottom left spawn location of MLG Daybreak, and his opponent is going to be the Grand Master CuHz, who is up 1-0.
Indeed.
CuHz saying that he threw down a ton of cannons, expecting the base trade.
Mm-hmm.
Every Zerg goes ZB Nexus. I like CuHz. CuHz is a cool guy. Looks like he's gearing up to take a Forge Fast Expand on this map, and this is I mean, even though it's just a two-player spawn map, it's a very macro-oriented map. It's not a rush map at all, really.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I mean, they're just, with the right meter control, there's just so many ways to win it. I'm not going to say my expectations of Aries were super high, but when you have the right meter control, it just can be ridiculously hard to deal with. Even if you have, like, 2 Templar in each base, you can just kill the Templar and then dodge the storms and then kill the Templar. It's like just micro around it. Like you can micro around storms, you just can't micro around storms forever.
And I mean,
Which means that, yeah.
especially on Tal'Darim, where the map is so muta-friendly. That's why a lot of the times in pro-level games, you will hardly ever see a Protoss beat a Zerg that goes mass muta. And
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
just...
yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I mean...
that's pretty much how it goes. It's just like it's just so hard
Well,
to deal with mutalisks if you control them right, but it's just not.
I
You have
do...
to do it right.
I love greedy play, and I love how CuHz is going with a Nexus first again, even though this isn't as big a map as Tal'Darim. I mean, I said it was macro-friendly, and it is macro-friendly, but it's not the size of Tal'Darim or Antigua. And he's still going Nexus first, and I think that's just such a badass choice on his behalf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aries is going to be throwing up a spawning pool, going pool first, and not actually looking like he wants it. Well, he's saving up a lot of money, so he may well go for a hatchery soon. But he's pretty late on his hatchery. I mean, usually if you, I mean, unless you're doing some sort of all-in tactic, and he is going to start getting Zerglings. Um, I mean, he might be going for some sort of all-in tactic, because usually, especially in ZVP, you'll want to have an expansion by now. Even if you don't go hatch first because he has a forge, you want to have that expansion down by like 16 or 18 or latest about 20 supply. I mean, he is going to be sending a drone down finally, but I mean, I think it's a very late expansion.
CuHz has been pretty badly supply blocked. Just
He has.
something, yeah, something random. He hasn't made a probe in about 3 hours.
He hasn't made a probe since Tal'Darim.
You don't need probes, you just need Templar.
Well, I'm very interested to see what Ares tries to do, because of course the mass muta tactic is something that is very, very common for Zerg versus Protoss, and as we've said about a bajillion times now, it is I mean, Tal'Darim is a very Zerg friendly is a very muta friendly map. Daybreak not so much. I mean, it's kind of easy to dart in from the side here of the main and take out some guys there, but I mean, the natural is pretty hard to attack with mutas, and I mean it's not as muta friendly a map in general. So I'm interested to see what Ares does. CuHz can really just sort of go for the same thing as he did last time and try to win. I mean, this map is an incredibly balanced map, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's got pretty open chokes, which means it's really hard to wall off your other bases. That makes it pretty balanced for Zerg. It also makes it just makes it really, really hard to get a third, to get a fourth, if you're not Zerg, which means that well, even if you are Zerg, it makes it really hard to get a fourth, because it's pretty straightforward getting the creep over your third, but it's a lot harder getting the creep over to your fourth, because at that point you're on 3 bases, you're trying to make stuff, you're trying to harass, and it's just easier to manage to macro when you're on 2 bases than on 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but Stefan, take it.
Yeah, Ares is going to be taking a reasonably early third, and I do like this in response to the fact that he um, was, I mean, a little late on his expansion, on his natural expansion. So I do like that he's going for the third. I really like the CuHz is chronoing out +1. Of course, upgrades. When you go for a Forge Fast Expand, you have the Forge already, and you
We're
want...
total sluts for upgrades.
We are. We're upgrade slots. Um, but I mean, especially for the Forge Fast Expand builds, you have the Forge sitting there. You don't want to just leave it and not do anything with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I, no, I really don't have anything to say.
Well, he's going to be on 6 gateways now, and I mean, the last game he went to 5 gate robo. This time it is looking more like a 6 gate. There's a 7th gateway going up as well. So, I mean, it looks like he's looking to be pretty
A
aggressive
lot
on
of
2
links
base.
out. A
There's a
lot
lot
of
of
links out on that.
There are a lot of lings out on the map. There are 12 lings just sort of running around, making sure there's no expansions, and he will see. That's one thing that Aries has done phenomenally. He's been phenomenal with his link control, and
And scouting, like,
yeah, his scouting and his
there's,
keeping the lings active all the time. And I mean, he will hopefully notice that there's no third, and he'll hopefully assume, oh well, maybe there must be some aggression coming because Copper Hertz is now on 8 gateways.
yeah. Well, he has a link at the third, unless you're really that far behind.
Yes, I have seen that. Yes.
Okay. He does have a wing at the third, and if Protoss hasn't taken his third, or at least tried to take his third, or at least shown that he's interested in taking his third in some way, um, it's sort of it's sort of like, okay, he's probably just going to be on two base, and he's going to try and do some kind of two base all in, and if he does enough damage with that, then he'll transition into late game. But this Ling control is just great, and I wish Copperhertz the best of luck getting that proxy pylon down.
Yeah, definitely. But we are getting very close to a push-out time. He is chronoing out armor level 1, and he should be 1-1 by the time he hits his opponent's base, and that is a lot of zealots.
And yeah, I'm not going to narrate what's going on right now because I have no idea if you can actually see it yet.
My time mark is 9:40.
Oh, wow, you're like actually a couple seconds ahead of me.
All right.
Interesting.
Ooh, Lynx are going to be trying to run by. He will be able to take out that pylon. That
Indeed, that
pylon at
building
the...
pylon.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the world at all. The proxy pylon will go down. The Lings are a little out of position now. He won't be able to deal with the Copperheart's proxy yet. And he's going to be throwing down a second one as well, just so it takes longer for the Link to deal with them if they do come in from behind. Titter, titter. But yeah, there are a decent number of roaches here. With good force fields, he could do a lot of damage here, but it looks like he's not even going to need the force fields because all Aries is doing is 1Aing. Guardian Shield does go up, and now he is force fielding. He's force fielding them at the top of the ramp as well, and really good damage to those roaches. And those roaches are basically all dead now. More are going to spawn. Lings are also spawning. Aries is basically gas starved now. He needs to start making lings, and now I mean, Copper Hertz is in a phenomenal position. He can continue. He has enough sentries to continue walling off that force fielding off that ramp, and I mean...
And here's something a lot of people don't realize is that actually one-on-one without any micro, Zealot beats a roach. So it's like you force field one roach down and you box him in, or rather, sort of curve nook him in. Like the Zealot will beat it. Zealot will beat it if you remove the roach's ability to be microed. So now, yeah, Aries.
There's the game, and Aries calls GG, and Copper Hertz being able to just crush him with an 8-gate all-in, and not bad at all, actually. Copper Hertz, he'll be going on to the quarterfinals.